Y bueno, vamos a otro capítulo de la paradoja de Stanley, ¿no? Es así nomás esto, porque esto es así. ¿Vio, doctor? ¿Vio, doctora? ¿Vio, doctor Sonante? El que tiene muchas amantes. El que es habitual del canal sabe quién es el doctor Sonante. Una eminencia en todo lo que es cuántico. Esto es un videojuego cuántico. A ver con qué intro rara me sale ahora. Ah, bueno, bien, nada. Inicia partida, bueno, muy bien, muy bien. No hubo ninguna cosa extraña. Pero sí, vamos a... sí, esta es la historia de Stanley, que ya la sabemos todos. Y vamos a directamente...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Exactamente. Bueno, vamos a ver si nos dejaron un memo los... Yo creo que el final que vimos en el capítulo anterior era el final en realidad de todo el juego, pero bueno,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bueno, acá vamos a empezar a desconocer el juego. Listo.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Claro, muy bien. A ver qué pasa. Ahora estamos desobedeciendo el juego, a ver.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
La primera puerta a la izquierda. Y bueno, vamos a tener que hacer lo que está diciendo el señor, la primera
And
puerta
so
a
he
la izquierda.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Acá, él dice que yo tengo que ir acá. Pero en realidad quiero ir acá. ¿Cuántos finales tiene este juego de mierda? A ver.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office.
Exactamente.
He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Y acá no hay nada. Señor narrador. Me estás troleando, ¿no vos, no?
No.
¡Ay,
not
me
the
cagó,
right.
forro!
Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Dale, no me jodas, narrador, no seas choto.
Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ay, cómo me cagó. Bueno. ¿Y usted qué? ¿Y usted quién es? ¿Qué quiere? Con las luces prendidas, ¿qué le pasa? Oh, ¿y esto?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
No seas malo. No seas malo. Bueno, dale, vamos de vuelta,
All of his
narrador.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ahora lo que vamos a hacer es... Apenas se abre la de la
When
izquierda...
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Hay otra
Oh,
puerta
did
acá.
something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Bueno. Vamos por cual... Ahora sí, Esto es random total, boludo. Random, Pero random. ¿Qué está pasando acá? Es que encima ahora sí, no sé, no sé para dónde tengo que ir, boludo. Es buenísimo esto. Si me mando por acá, se cierra la puerta, Fija, boludo, fija.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No seas choto.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No me vuelvas a trolear, No me cagues de vuelta, narrador, no seas choto. Che, igual cambió un toque, Ahora no hay puerta.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Y sí, cuando no te da más opción, es porque, bueno, tenés que... tenés que sí o sí volver, A menos que pueda abrir alguna puerta, algo, pero no. Para mí cambió algo acá. Esto no estaba así antes, boludo.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
¿Qué?
The story. Here it comes.
Mirá, boludo. Ahora sí cambió la oficina,
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
No seas troll, boludo. No seas troll. O sea, ¿qué juego más troll? Para. Uy, ¿acá qué pasó? Acá reventó algo, boludo. What?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Bueno, narrador, dale, ponte las pilas. Ponte las pilas.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Bueno, lo que usted diga, narrador. Vamos. Vamos. Para, nada. ¿Por qué tengo que ir por ahí? Cajeta. No, voy a ir por donde yo quiera. Por donde yo quiera voy,
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Está bien, bueno. Decí que igual tanto no te marea el juego este, O sea... Más que nada con el tema de las líneas, para dónde ir, toda esa boluda. ¿Estamos bien? Bueno.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought.
¿Qué?
Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
¿Qué pasa?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Bueno, sí, está bien. Lo que vos digas. Lo que vos digas, narrador, dale.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Bueno, estamos de vuelta en la oficina del Stanley este. A ver. Ah, pero ves, ahora me habilitó otras puertitas del señor López. Mirá vos. Uy, volvimos otra vez acá.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
No, maestro. Bueno, vamos de vuelta.
You know what, Stanley?
But...
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
¿Dónde? ¿A dónde me está llevando, maestro? Ah.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
No sé, siento que estoy dando vuelta como un boludo. Ah, maestro, cortala. Ahí está. Qué juego más raro este.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it. We should be fine.
Che, pues está un poco... Se crashó un poco el juego, ¿no? Por lo visto, con la línea esa. Mira que se boludo. The line. Ajá. Bueno, ¿y ahora?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
¿En serio?
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Claro,
And
pero me
that
hace
in
caminar en círculo del pedo,
turn means
maestro.
that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
Y acá no puedo entrar, ¿no? El final de la confusión.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Se emputó el juego de vuelta, boludo. Bueno, listo. A ver ahora.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Listo. No hay ninguna cosa rara. No pasa nada raro. Nuevo contenido. What?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Y no sé. Vamos a averiguarlo. Parece Half-Life esto, ¿eh?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Bueno, vamos.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Y dale, vamos.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Muy bien, dale, vamos. ¿Estás prometiendo nuevo contenido? Bueno, dale.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Todo pegado con cinta, boludo. Ajá. Ah, ¿en serio tengo que saltar? A ver. Yo voy a saltar hasta el último, Ah, no, esto es... Veo que te digo que este es un juego troll. 10, 9... ¿Listo? ¿Y ahora qué? Nuevo contenido, el círculo de salto. Son trolls,
Is that it?
Y sí.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for playing.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Y sí, si vos sos el narrador y sos el que reinicia el juego, y sí, te tengo que decir todo que sí, maestro. Oh, mirá vos, se reinició la oficina. Vaya, vaya. A ver. ¿Y ahora? ¿Qué onda?
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
La chota. Ay, pero cómo me troleás, porque yo quiero ir por acá. Pero vos me haces ir por acá. Bueno, va. Y ya está, ya es un viaje de ida, ya fue. ¿Cuántos finales tendrá este juego, digo yo?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Bueno, dale. Oh, ¿y qué pasa acá? What? ¿Qué? ¿Qué carajo?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
What? Esto se está poniendo muy abstracto,
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Qué cosa más extraña, bro. 2013. El lanzamiento fue en 2013, hace 11 años. Good times. Bueno. Y esta supuestamente es una versión de 2022, Smile because it happened. Mira. Bueno, bien por los desarrolladores del juego, ¿eh? Muy bien, ¿eh? Ah, mirá vos. Mirá vos. Yo, sí, bueno, me acuerdo que ese lo tenía. The New York Times. New video game released today. Muy lindo, ¿eh? Los recuerdos del jueguito. Little Stanley.
Je suis dans la mémorisation, c'est sur la pluie des
¿Qué
loups
corno pasa, cabejo?
et je n'attends.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Bueno, ahí. ¿Y ahora qué? Sigo caminando. Ah, mira, tiene acá la reseña de Google. O sea, esto es directamente una captura de pantalla. Sí, claramente como que ganó muchos premios este juego, ¿no? Acá tenemos otro. Pará. Bueno, muy lindo. ¿Y acá qué? Memory Zone y mantenimiento. Decime que puedo interactuar con algo, que puedo hacer algo, no sé. Claro, este yo tenía. Yo me recuerdo, esta es la presentación del que yo tenía allá en 2015. Mirá vos, persona del año Stanley. Ah, mirá unas capturas con... ¿Esto qué es? Unreal, ¿no? Y este sería Stanley. Claro, y esta sería la otra, la compañera, no sé.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
A ver qué más hay para descular acá. Bueno, una bici. Texturas de carpets. ¿Qué es alfombra? Claro, ¿ves? Acá tenemos... Claro, ¿ves? Como te muestran como las entrañas del juego, básicamente. Acá tenemos la oficina. The Serious Room 2003. ¿Dónde vamos? ¿Dónde hay que ir, viejo? ¿Hay que volver para atrás?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Linda
Wait.
casa igual, ¿eh?
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Steam. ¿Qué hace Steam acá?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Y yo creo que no habría que verlo, ¿no? Tampoco. Oh, no recomendado,
Honestly, I
honestamente.
could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Mirá vos. Ah, están todas las reseñas malas tiradas acá. Tiradas. Mirá vos,
Okay, let's see what this
recomendado.
one says.
Eh.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Pero ¿qué pasa? El chiste me parece de esto es la narración, porque si le sacas la narración, cagaste. ¿Acá qué?
And here it is. Go ahead and give... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Basta.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room.
Bueno, lamento,
Oh,
maestro.
Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
No.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just...
Y seguirás solo, como un perro. Ya, narrador, pesado.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so...
Silencio. ¿Me vas a dejar salir de acá? ¿Eh? Ah, ahora está calladito. Ahora está calladito. ¿Y qué pasa? Bueno, vamos a apretar de vuelta. Uy, ¿qué puso una bomba este? Yo no quiero saber nada.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain.
Ya, narrador, cierre el ojete. Por favor, se lo pido. El pesado que no se calla.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Digo, ¿habrá alguna forma de salir de acá? Está lloviendo, Llueve adentro del juego, qué loco. Bueno. Vamos a ir apretando. Ah, a la mierda, ¿qué pasa acá? ¿Cómo que cuánto? O sea, ¿cómo pasa el tiempo en el juego este, boludo? Ah, porque se filtró el agua y se rompió el... Ah, la mierda. Habrá pasado, no sé, 5 años más o menos. Bueno, hay que reconocerle que tiene su imaginación el juego, ¿eh? Hay que reconocerle que tiene imaginación. A la mierda. Pasó el tiempo, el narrador se cayó la boca. Me voy a quedar con esta imagen. Mira qué linda imagen esta. ¿Ves que es un juego bien logrado este? Ah, cierto que me había dicho que me acuerde del coso este, de la planta. Que va a ser más importante para más adelante. Bueno, no sé, a ver. Ay, se me trabó el muñeco, la puta que la parió. Ah, tío, se traba el muñeco acá, sonaste, Y acá no sé, se murió todo. O sea, el botón ese es como una... Evidentemente es una máquina del tiempo. Mierda. ¿Y acá qué pasó? Ah, acá se emputó el coso, Listo. Sí, se hundió, no sé qué pasó. Uy, no, menos mal que no lo apreté. Mierda, se acabó el mundo. Ya está. Chao. Ah, sí, pude apretar el botón. ¿Y ahora qué? ¿What? Vamos a dejarlo acá. Vamos a dejarlo acá. Y a tomar por culo, porque llevamos 40 minutos. Los 40 minutos más raros de la vida.